Hi everyone, welcome to Network Balance number 5. I completed this balance on Monday the 18th of May and there weren't too many issues that came through this time, so I'm hoping that's a good sign and that you're all really cruising and you haven't kind of blown yourselves up with all these balances. But the theme coming through was about trusting the process, wanting to maintain the good changes that you've made over this period. So similar to last balance where we talked about, or what really came through was the stuff around commitment. This was getting a little bit more into the inner alignment that would lead to commitment, and that's about our conscious intention and also about our dreams. So our issues there were just how do we maintain these changes. And the goal that tested was I allow my dreams to come to fruition, which is kind of nice, right? And but seems a little bit airy, like what do we actually mean by that? And I think straight off the bat, what came to me with that goal testing was that it's okay for us to make our choices, to make sure our choices are aligned, to make sure our choices are reflecting what we really want and truly want and what's right for us. And then we can actually let it go a little and let it unfold. So we don't have to hold so tightly to this, oh my God, they're not going to make me do this, are they? And that is because when we're in that state, we're really not trusting our power, and we're really still potentially coming from a belief that we don't really deserve it, or we really don't have the power to do it, or we can't just choose. So I think this is a little reminder for us to stand our ground in an empowering and sort of calm, confident way. So our emotions here were trusting. So you think about the emotion of trusting, and that does lend itself to being calm and confident. And it's like, yeah, we've got this, I'm not going to panic. And then there was the emotion of feeling confirmed others to self, which is an interesting one. And I love to go to the dictionary and check and recheck what words mean. And confirmation was about establishing the truth. So to me, if we've got feeling confirmed others to self, there's still a part of us, or the part of us that's blocking our ability to see our dreams come to fruition, is the part of us that is still waiting for other people to confirm our truth for us, that is still waiting to validate it, or still going to say, yeah, you're living true to Belinda, and someone else is going to tell you that. Like, what? Anyway, that's what we do, right? It's really interesting. I think this process is really bringing that to our conscious awareness. I'm realizing I've got where I've really checked out and haven't made conscious choices. So I think you'll see more and more of this, the new world, the new paradigm that we're in, all choice-based. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first correction was a message from from an oracle card, and it was the theme of new beginnings, and the message was, I create the perfect environment for my life potential to flourish. I am open to change for the better. And the emotion that tested with this card was intent. So again, our new beginnings, having a fresh look at our life and coming out of lockdown or whatever situation you're in as we're starting to get back into it, it's a chance for us to really focus our intention and to be creators, to make the choices that are creating the environment that we want. When we say that we're scared things will go back to the way they were, what we're really meaning is we're scared that we're going to give away our power. We're scared that we're going to have to submit. We're scared that we're going to end up having to do things that we don't really want to do. So really, how do we confront that fear? We confront that fear by stepping into taking responsibility and making the choices that reflect the intentions we have for our life. So there's some not a lot to do there, just reflection on what that message means for you. How can you create this perfect environment for your life to flourish? And also, I guess, being open to change. And just checking in, are the choices that you're making really aligned with your intention? So when you're saying you want peace, are you making choices that lead to peace? Or are you still making choices that, lead to stress? So that's reflection. Number 2 is a beautiful crystal grid, which I've given you a photo there, and had the inspiration to, for those of you who are that way inclined and would like to, have done a little guided meditation to take you through the grid and to really take you through these questions in an audio fashion, so you can kind of tune in and listen to them and see what comes up for you. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can kind of go through, look at the message of the crystal, and then ask those questions to yourself. So the grid intention, for those of you who are, new to crystal healing, when we do a grid, we have an intention. So we're looking to, it's a goal essentially, but intention's a little bit softer in the sense that this is what we're inviting, and we're asking the crystals to give us their input basically. And I explain this in the meditation, but it's important that you understand how crystals work, and that is that they all have an essence and they have a particular frequency, and that is, that's their truth, right? And so when we intuit them, when they come to us, when we pick them, or they test for us, obviously, what that's signaling is that we need to bring in that frequency. We need the vibration of that crystal, and that crystal is ready and willing, as it presents in its essence, to awaken that frequency in you. So we're inviting that vibration, that frequency, to come into ours and remind us that we have that as well. So that's kind of how it's working. So when we do a crystal grid, these are the crystals that have come out to say, hey, I hold this frequency, I hold this message, I hold this essence, and this is something that you might want to draw your attention to and awaken in you. So just that's the positioning of the crystal grid. So yes, our intention was, when I am true to myself, all things fall into place. So this, I think, fits beautifully with allowing our dreams to come to fruition. In fact, a lot of what we're doing is undoing programming that says you have to work hard, you have to do XYZ, you have to meet these conditions in order to get what you want, or in order for you to reach your goals. And we're not very good at really just accepting that, hey, you just have to be yourself. You just have to make choice by choice choices that align with what is right and good for you, what feels good for you, right? That's it, So when we allow our dreams to come to fruition, what we're really doing is allowing ourselves to be revealed, allowing our true self to run our lives, allowing our lives to reflect our true self. And we do that with a clear intention of wanting to be true. So I don't think I'll go through all this, because you can listen to the meditation or read it for yourself. But just quickly, we had the crystals of fuchsite, and a close-up, because crystal show and tell is this beautiful forest green. That's all about our true self-worth. We had the crystal of bloodstone, which is this spiritual warrior, giving us the courage to follow our path. We had the crystal of sulfur, who, as you know, has made an appearance before. Beautiful yellow powdery. This is a cleansing crystal, removing our negativity or negative thought patterns. We had lapis lazuli. This is a rough piece of lapis. I think I've shown you a nice polished piece before. And lapis is all about our inner vision and staying in integrity with our highest truth. And of course, you all probably know rose quartz. Beautiful, unconditional love. And pyrite, manifestation. I think we've had a lot of these before. So our network has got a real, or maybe we've got a network of crystals. How cool is that? Okay, so there's some questions for you to reflect upon. The third correction was language stress. So this is when the body tells us, hey, you're talking in a way, you're using these words, you're, communicating in a way that is really causing the cells stress. We don't like it. Can you stop using these words? The emotion tested as feeling trapped. So basically it was a language that is disempowering. And of course, what is it? What is the language that we're using is disempowered? Everything that we're discussing about the virus, the COVID, I was going to swear. I was trying not to swear, but some people have said they really enjoyed my swearing. So anyway, now it feels fake to swear just because, that's what I wouldn't be being true to myself, would I? I have to kind of just organically swear. Anyway, that would be true to myself, organically swearing. Distracted, coming back. So we're looking at look at your language and look at the way that you're talking about the virus. Look at the way that you're talking about the situation, lockdown, all of it. And really notice, is that the way that you're talking about it empowering? Is it freeing to you? Or does it indicate that you feel trapped, or that you're feeling disempowered, or like a victim even? So are you blaming it for things? Bloody lockdown, blah, blah, blah. Are you giving your power away to it? I can't because you're using it as an excuse. Well, I would have started that except blah, blah, blah. And are you putting off decisions because of it? This is my favorite because this is definitely coming up for me. You can easily, given because we're waiting for instructions from Daddy ScoMo or Daddy Dan if you're in Victoria, it's easy to fall into this trap of, well, what's Daddy ScoMo going to say? I can't really decide on this until Daddy ScoMo's told me. And it's bullshit, basically. So body is saying, stop using this language and start to, pull yourself up. Self-awareness is first, and then really making an effort to speak differently. Your language is really important. The words have a vibration, the words have an energy, and we really have been pretty slack with them for a long time. So we want words that are confirming our self-authority, words that feel freeing, words that assert, words that feel empowering. So your language should be reflecting the choices that you make, and the choices that you're making because they are true for you and because they reflect your truth. So what I mean by that is all your choices have to be because they're true for you, not because the virus, not because I want to work on Mondays because I want to work on Mondays, not because Daddy ScoMo says I can only work on Mondays. I hope that I've driven that home. I think I have. If you remember in the past balances, we've talked about being proactive and owning our choices, and that leads to power and freedom. So this is really a very practical, tangible way of driving that home. Like, how are you speaking, and does the way that you speak reflect how powerful you feel? So examples, of course, are I choose, I want, I'm going to, I will. Nice. You can even feel that in your body, actually. I will. Watch out, Randall. Okay, number 4, unresolved and inappropriate role. So this usually tests imbalances, and some of you may recall it. It tests imbalances when, your parents got divorced when you were early on, and you ended up having to take on a level of responsibility in the family, that was kind of above and beyond, so you were, had to grow up faster than needed. But I guess in this that sort of applies in this, but I guess it's this where what I'm seeing it as is we're falling into this parental dynamic. This has come up in every balance. This is just a new flavor, new way to look at it. So it's where we're slipping into this role. So we're slipping into the child role in the parental dynamic, and the archetype of mama's boy tested. And this, don't be fooled, this equally applies to women. The emotion is agreeable, others to self. So again, where we slip into the people pleaser. Is this pleasing to you, Daddy ScoMo? I hope so. And really, it's about not wanting to get on the bad side. So I feel like there's there's kind of the masculine, archetype of the authority figure and not wanting to be, and that really kind of brings in the fear of punishment. This is more about the maternal authority figure and the fear of having love taken away. So it's kind of the I won't be loved feeling, not I won't be wrapped over the knuckles feeling. So it's the fear of not being loved versus the fear of punishment. So the correction that tested for this is I think it's an NLP technique originally, actually, called 2 parts integration. And it's pretty similar to a lot of techniques that I've used where we're looking at the conflict between 2 parts of us. So there's one part of us that wants to stay attached to the apron strings, and there's another part of us that wants to break away from the apron strings, wants to cut the apron strings. And what you do is you go through and you examine both of those parts, and you're looking for the highest or purest intention of where they're coming from. So I've already done this for you when I prepared earlier, but if you want to do this exercise and see if you get other things, then go for it. It would be really useful for you. But this is sort of how it works. So we looked at keeping the apron strings, and the question we ask is, for what purpose are we keeping the apron strings? We're keeping attached to mama. And that is, straight off the bat, we want to maintain connection. And then we look at cutting the apron strings. Why do we want to cut the apron strings? For what purpose? Well, we want to sever the connection, okay? We want to be connected. We don't want to be connected. So then we come back and we go to the next level. So when I maintain connection, for what purpose? Well, that's because I want to feel belonging. I want to be part of it. I want to be part of the tribe. I want to be part of my family. I want to be part of the whole. Why do I want to sever connection? Well, I want to be my own person. I want to be independent. I want to do my own thing. I want to get out of this place, right? Coming back, why do I want to, for what purpose do I want belonging? Because I want to feel loved and accepted, of course, Pretty scary to not feel loved and accepted. For what purpose do I want independence? I want to feel free and powerful. I want to, be my own person. And again, loved and accepted. Why do I want to feel loved and accepted? I've already alluded to that, because I feel safe and supported. And not only that, we're looking at it in terms of making our choices. So I want to, in the context of keeping the apron strings, I want to make my choices, but I want to make sure those choices are, okay with you too, that they're not gonna, piss you off or cause any problems, and I can still be loved, safe, accepted, and kind of make my choices. The cutting of the apron strings is sovereignty. I just want to make my choices, be true to myself, dude. Don't give a shit what you think, okay? And we go, finally, for what purpose do we want to be safe and supported when making our choices? And we want to make our choices and be true to ourselves. Self-expression. Paths to self-expression. So think about what, as a parent, you're here to do with your children. You're here to help their self evolve, their self unfold, and so there's a part of us that wants ourself to unfold. We want to express who we really are, and we want to feel loved and safe and supported while we're doing that. Then there's the other part of us that wants ourself to evolve and unfold, and we want to be just completely free. We don't want to have to think about whether those choices conform to anything or anyone else. So they're both wanting the same thing. So if we can kind of integrate these knowings in us, that we are safe, that we're supported, that we're loved, we're accepted, and we're free and powerful and sovereign, then we're on a winner. So some actions there to do would be to temporal tap, to connect those levels. So when I think about allowing my dreams to come to fruition, I am connected to myself and I'm connected to others. I can be independent and I can belong. I'm loved and accepted and I'm free and powerful. I'm safe and supported while I'm making my own choices. I make choices that I'm true to myself and that I'm living my self-expression. Pretty cool. I like that one a lot. So that is all, really. So we had a couple of support items, a couple of bits of homework. One of them was watching our energy boundaries. So the old mule syndrome tested up. And that is where we're doing the physical, emotional, and energetic work of others. Oh, we don't know about that, do we? Empath syndrome. When I ask the body, what do we need to do? Okay, yep, I get it. You know, be wary of mule syndrome. Be wary of muling. The directive that tested was work alone. And I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, so just don't ever work with anyone. Yeah, well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, sometimes? What I really kind of, given the, you know, nature of the charts, I kind of have to interpret sometimes. And what I basically took that to mean was, here is another warning to stop working on anyone else's problems, anyone else's emotions, except your own. That's obviously a constant message really for all of us, because it's pretty easy in empath land to just start picking up other people's shit and sifting through it, often to avoid our own shit. But this is really another warning. So stop taking on the work of others. Stop doing it for them. You're not helping them. You're not serving them. They need to break out of this parental dynamic too. So if you're taking on the role of, here, I'll take that off you and I'll do that work for you and I'll give you the answer, you're really not helping. So stop it. Good. Ginger was our friend here, eating and drinking it daily. I haven't, you can kind of look up the benefits of ginger, but it's a good all-rounder really. Its affirmation though is, I am safe and secure. I have more than I need. Very good. That definitely brings this sense of trusting our emotion, if you remember. Trusting as things unfold, trusting that if I set my intention, that I stay true to myself, things will unfold in a great way for me. So that is it. You can, shall I read the takeaways? Yeah, go on. So takeaway 1, living the life of my dreams is possible when I stay awake, people, and use conscious and clear intention in every thought, word, and action. Stay awake. Awake at the wheel. Takeaway 2, all outside noise fades to silence. All outside chaos fuses to calm, and all choices become clear when I lovingly and courageously maintain the conscious intention to be true to myself. Nice. And then finally, I'm safe in my sovereignty. I can honor my individuality and remain connected to the whole. Self-acceptance is freedom. What a good bumper sticker. So I hope you've enjoyed, and for those of you who are keen, go forth and enjoy the crystal grid meditation, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye.